Hello and welcome to Rule Waves 3 playing as Japan on Super Large plus starting 1890. It's 1933, aka episode 65. We are fighting Italy. Another battle is going to take place just off the coast of Greece. There's a good chance we will find and sink whatever remains of the Regia Marina. So let's jump in. Oh, this is where we left off. Nothing's changed. We have the carriers in the back. They are on independent, with Shokaku in the lead, with the light carriers in the back. We have an issue, I would say, with the wind direction, because to launch and recover we have to go due east, and whatever needs doing is in the west. So we will try to speed up and at least move them, the carriers, to the west, southwest, I would say, away from Crete as much as possible, because they will tend to turn back towards Crete. And that's fine, but I don't want the distance between forces here to grow too big. So the main force will cap for the battle division that is for some reason in the vanguard. And will cap for the battle cruisers. Now, both light cruiser groups are with the carriers. I don't really like that, because I like my light cruisers to be at the forefront. I think I am going to release them like we have done in the past. Okay, we can't do that just yet because they are AI control, of course. So we will have a heavy cap. We will take in the recon quite a bit because we don't have that much range. I am also going to do this. And we are going to get something ready. We are not sending any fighters on escort. We are just sending the torpedo bombers all by their lonesome. Ready strike. And we will do light for maximum range 235. Okay. Then I could actually on light do say 240. Okay. Nice. That's the setup, I think. And yeah. And just run because we are locked in, so actually spot the okay. Now that we have control, I want to run these guys down in the corner here at... Sorry, my chair is running over the power cord, very inconvenient. If and when they have to turn back to launch, they will be, well, at least a little bit closer. So these guys absolutely need to haul ass. But now I'm wondering how much use would releasing the light cruisers actually be, and I think the answer is not very useful, because they would use too long to reach that battle line. Okay, so we have the Fuji BB battle divisions in the back here. No, maximum. And we have these guys in the lead. We will just... They have one destroyer. Okay. In support. These guys have 2 divisions screening. That sounds very unfair. So this can screen. Oh, this is in screens, and it can be in support. That should work better. This is just one block of 5 powerful vessels, so they have 2 screen, 1 support. This is fine. Yeah, let's leave the light cruisers in the back so I can regret it later. Weather limits. Oops. I think I cannot launch. There's no recon going out, of course. No, which is more useful. I think I will turn slightly to the south with my battle cruisers. Then turn slightly north with my battleships, because these guys are coming full tilt. I think we at least need some disruption. We cannot allow ourselves to be torpedoed just right away. What do we have? We have the Giuseppe Garibaldi fast 15-inch. Another one. Okay, so they brought their A game. I want to get out of torpedo threat envelope. Oh, this just got very messy. I think one took a hit, but okay. Just to show them who's the boss. Well, we wanted you to go back in this direction, but you did not want to do that. Monsters? Oh, wow. Good, good, good. That was... Oh, wow, wow. A second hit on the same one. So that... my little gamble definitely paid off. Is this 28 knotter? Okay. A 14-inch 4 aft. But do they also have a main force somewhere? I guess we'll see soon enough. Where did they send their... Okay, we have low sighting range. I forgot about that. So we need to keep that in mind. I think we will actually... This looks like a destroyer that in turn looks like it wants to attack me. And I don't think that's actually a light cruiser. Looks a lot like a destroyer to me. Soon my battleships are guaranteed to eat something called torpedoes. Kirishima got torpedoed. Okay, that was more surprising. Okay, yeah. Probably my own fault, but that was... I didn't see that coming, but okay. It's 22 speed, so it's not a huge deal, but I mean, yeah. Want to... Okay, so that's good. Yeah, there you are. I knew it would happen. So, carelessness, carelessness, carelessness. This is the age of the torpedo, so they are extremely dangerous. I mean, just a single lonely... Pod max, we're down to 22. That is also not ideal because, yeah, all my capital squadrons are now down to... Do we even need these guys? Sighting range is still horrible. I don't want that one torpedoing my new flagship. I don't want them. You are horrible at screening, guys. Oh, I have the black flag up still. Okay. Kind of my own fault, I guess. Think that is quite sufficient. So I think actually we will just move to the west here into the deep ocean towards Malta. Don't see any reason to hang around. We angle this slightly in this direction. Now we can stay at 20. Oh god, it's on fire. Both are badly moved. What about this one? One is also badly damaged. Yeah. A lot of firepower coming in. This one is doing the classic 5 knot thing, despite having a ton of fuel. It's about... 20 with these ones as well. This guy doing? What's the touch but is confused? It's too silly. Oh my god, we have more ships incoming. That was surprising, I would say. Damn. And now it's too late to launch. So let's keep going. That's why it was just twiddling its thumbs, because yeah, we talked about the problem with destroyers and cruisers escorting carriers, because the pathing is so horrible that they burn out their engines. I'm in place with patrol. Now they can turn in the other direction and just chill. Even when on patrol, they are and the destroyers and cruisers are desperately trying to stay in position. Destroyers can run out of fuel, the light cruisers can damage their engines. So it's quite weird, actually. And you can go to independent again. If I knew that the Italians, if the Italians had more carriers, I would definitely be more aggressive in searching for them. But since they have like one light carrier, I don't really see the point. Yeah, of course it is. But it didn't even sink. So it lost 3 battle cruisers, but it actually had 6 more capital ships that were somewhere. We don't know. We can actually look at the map for once of big ships. This is the CVL. And it actually looks like it was the CVL that my destroyer spotted. Possibly. Possibly. Yeah. Okay. It was not quite as not the third Battle of Matapan. Okay, the range is kind of bad. So that's a no-go, and we already have a good reliability one, so no, thank you. But that loss surely seals the fate of the Italians, yes. To the extent that we can start thinking about cycling some of our weaker ships back home, because we have 182 versus 100. They are unlikely to ever get any more than that, so we could definitely in 1 to 2 months send some of the obsolescent ships toward home. This rebuilding scheme is mostly done by now. Let's see what happens. Yes. They don't, I don't think they have enough to do much. A small engagement. And thanks, but no thanks. I'm not playing a game with 2 destroyers. I realized that encounters like that probably were more common than we know because little, not very public or well known. It's the big battles or the battleships that get all the attention. Rave casualties, boohoo. Yeah, they are close to collapse. It would be nice if we could take roads before they collapse, but okay. Yeah, it's not largest for long. More money is, yeah, and we'll take the offer. Without border changes, but we get large territories and war operations. Okay, yeah. Okay. What can we grab here? We can grab Sardinia, which will give us a strategic base in the Western Med, so definitely that. Greece, because of its many air bases and strategic location. We cannot then also get Albania, but we can get Libya, so that's an exactly 10 points. I would actually rather do this than have more war reparations. So yes, it was a relatively quick war. The budget is reduced, but we're still at 750, so yeah. Variable pitch propellers, yeah. Shatter resistant shells, save, and try to remember copying my games to 7. Guess we will have to do a war council as well, or war cabinet. The battle didn't last as long as I had expected. I had expected to engage that second group of Italians, but yeah. Now, truly, this is a basin belonging to me. 390, it's still not a home area and still not 500 like I dreamed of. But we are running out of possessions to take. There is Albania. There is, of course, also Dalmatia. Austria-Hungary will never, but this will probably just not be a part of the game. If we went to war with, this is how much base capacity? 10. This is 12. This is 70. So Tunisia and Algeria is also very good. So 170. So if we 300 more, so we could actually get up to 700 basing. That would be excellent, but that would require a war with France. That would be the next step, so to speak. Albania is not very important, but these two are very important. So, good war. Glad we took it. Glad we got the opportunity. So, we will definitely be sending most of our ships back. Not all of them. We need to maintain a squadron here. But even once we settle down in a peace economy, I think we will find that we are quite comfortable. We have 4 subs left and 4 coastal subs. So we had 30. So we have lost 22 during this war. Ships sunk or scrapped. We lost this destroyer to Italian ships. This to Italian ships. Greek, Sicily. We didn't lose anything. Okay, yeah. Have we? when was our last mine? Oh, the EA. Remember the EA. That was harsh. Haven't really lost very many. Could have lost more without it affecting us much, because stuff that eventually ends up scrap, in one way you could say that you might as well lose them in battle. Not quite, because the enemy gets points for it and you are weakened while the war is going on, but having to scrap this many ship, then that's well, it's actually not that unusual, but I think you know what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to lose the occasional ship. It's of course horrible to lose the HEA to mining, or having multiple battleships sunk in a battle, that sort of thing, or seeing several of your brand new carriers burned to the ground. That's not fun. And then I will be very sad and angry. But losing a cruiser here, a battleship there, destroyers, of course. I would not actually. I'm no longer bothered by it the same way I was when I started playing, because phasing out older ship is a natural part of the game, and I'm not so into wasting money on updating obsolete ships anymore. So if I lose a ship, that's fine. Speaking of which, Doctrine, damage control, I think, would have been utterly wasted in this playthrough. Torpedo warfare, I think we're doing just fine. Gunnery is way too expensive, even for me. 30% increase. Well, it's slightly less than that, actually, but 4,000 monies, yeah, maybe. Could be worth it. Night fighting, no. I haven't really had any trouble fighting the AI at night, so it's fine. Okay, let's quickly look at this, see if we can halt something. No, these guys are clearing very soon, and then once we get more ships back home, this will all be fine. I think we should do the reorganization post-war here, and then we can actually look at the war cabinet brief. I think it will be declared a great success. Yeah, Northeastern Asia, these are fine. These are not doing so fine. They took quite a beating, but I think I'll start by sending these back to Asia. We will send back the obsolete ships, and we will send back these guys. We'll leave the Tsurugis and the Ishikaris in the MAD, or no, I think 2 battle cruisers is enough. Northeast Asia. This one can be reserved right away. Might have to put more cruisers on foreign station. So the light cruiser division 1, that can actually, why did I do that? Move Northeast Asia. Move Northeast Asia. Ishi. How many? 6. Oh, okay. Let's get those guys going home. Some armor stuff. Logistics or fleet tactics. Better heavy AA and medium AA. Okay. New dive bomber. That's interesting. Now, that's a huge, huge, huge disappointment. I mean, this one is a tiny bit better than the B model of the Mitsubishi, so it might not be poor. So let's do that one. Still depressing. So now the question is, do we need yet another fight? We can obsolete this one. This is deving, so we'll wait a bit. Obsolete. Not terribly impressed with that. I think we need a new medium bomber. Bomb load and range. And then we can do a fighter after that. Oh, Mediterranean moved. East Asia. Moved to Asia, Med. Fleet. The Med. So we had 2 battle cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and a destroyer squadron. We are almost done with construction here. Wait, air groups, of course. Didn't help that much. Dive on. I want night operations. I don't want improved dive bombers. So unfair. These nice combat destroyers is quite nice. Serve them, okay. One is still in the med, that's not intentional. It was probably damaged. Little guys, these are obsolete now, so they need looking at eventually. No, we are in positive territory. That's nice. I think I'll just play out a couple of more turns until the end of the year. And they keep giving me unknowns despite having a ton of competent officers in the pool. Again, this is shitty game design and it annoys me, but I'll try not talking about it absolutely all the time. Probably will fail at that. Get the air groups soon. Oreo. Arms industry. I'm all for more budget. Oh, I was thinking about better 15-inch guns. Now we have sort of the problem that 15-inch quality one, it's tempting to use instead of 16-inch, but I don't know. We don't have any ships with 15-inch guns. They're almost done. We have 4 light cruisers going. Probably make a couple more. I don't know. 100. There is very little to be improved upon here. It's sort of perfectly fine. I mean, we could make... No, we can't even make it spacious. We could maybe... Could give it more... Could give it some medium. No, we can't even give it some medium. Or director. Pointless. Now we should have some of our ships back in Northeast Asia. Sir Fleet. Yes. Sir Fleet. Sir Fleet. Well, this can remain the way they are for now. Active, that's fine. Now, finances are actually pretty good once we've dealt with that. We are researching. Yeah, so clearly we could build even more carriers. We could build even more light cruisers. We can get started on those 18-inch battleships. We can look at refitting some of our older ships, older capital ships, that is. Because everything here is super obsolete. Even the 16-inchers are getting old. I will definitely need to look at that. But I will just step one more turn. We get to 1934. Wow. TB's not my favorite part of the game. Oh, we actually made it. British are getting upset with us. Is that they really want that? I would absolutely welcome a war against France and Great Britain now to get those sweet, sweet North African bases. But see. Before we leave off, I should stations 4-inch, 6-inch. What else did we get? Fortifications. And add more later. Let's get started there. Probably have some air bases here. Caligari, Oliba, Rhodes, Lindos. Yeah, we have lots of air bases, so that's good. And look into that soon. But we have a healthy bonus and a healthy economy. Everything's looking quite good. We're up to 48, so we have more than a 50,000. US is of course still ahead, but now we are way ahead of both Britain and Germany, and we have left these third tier powers behind long ago. This is just sad. I don't know why China is in the game. Same with Spain. We have once we went down the ahistorical route, I think they could have boosted them even more to make the game interesting. It's all the other nations have economies that are not very historical, so why not give Spain and China a little extra boost to sort of make it more gamey? But I digress. Slight change of plans. We'll do the start of year review in the next episode, but we will do the war cabinet now. Because the episode is on the shorter side, just 40 odd minutes, so we might as well add it out, so to speak, by doing the review. Everything has returned home, or almost everything, and gone into mothball or reserve, and we are planning for the future, so it feels right to do this. We can do the retrospective here, and then we can plan for the future in the next episode. That makes sense to me, at least. So the war cabinet, there is much champagne popping in Tokyo, and they have forgotten all about how easy it is to get into a war, and now they just want be while unprepared for it. So now they just want to do it all over again, this time against France and Britain, it seems. So they are quite... I've learned nothing. But fine. The Imperial Japanese Navy will deliver regardless of what the politicians are up to. So, yeah, good times. Generally speaking, although we did get quite a lot of reparations and some territories from the Russian-US war, that one took more than 4 years, and we really struggled with our economy. And it was actually quite a burden on Japan. So while we won, while there was no threat to us in any way, we didn't come out of that one feeling like we had sort of massively defeated the enemy. Sure, we crushed the Russian fleet, but the Americans were completely intact, and we had no way of going to them. They wouldn't come to us, we couldn't go to them, so it was sort of a stalemate. And although Tokyo won't admit it, that war probably would have ended with sort of more like a draw, unless Great Britain had been on our side and effectively blockaded Russians from the day they joined. And without that, how would this settlement have looked? Would we have been forced to build 1 million subs and our merchant cruisers just to get it over with? That would have completely killed my future build plans, and it would have been horrible. But now I'm talking about the last war, but I'm doing that to provide some context here. This is what Tokyo wants: short, victorious wars, crush the enemy in exciting naval battles, grab their territories, and then squeeze them for more when there's a peace treaty. No. It was a surprise war, like we said. This is the same slide that you saw at the start of the war. Tokyo doesn't understand this belligerence. What is that? They're only claiming our spot in the sun. Claim as many med possessions as possible through invasion and reparation. Do not immediately invade. Avoid major fleet engagement. Cruiser action convoy warfare. Invade when parity is established, crush the Italian fleet. So, how did it go? Yes, it went very well, actually. We even grabbed Eritrea because we had some battleships hanging out in the Indian Ocean that couldn't fit within our base cap in the Med. They took Eritrea without any fight at all. Then we got 10 points of reparations, which we used to grab Greece, Libya, and Sardinia. Only thing we couldn't afford was Albania, but that's a sideshow and easily grabbed once you have Greece. So if there is a future war, I don't think there will be any more wars with Italy. I don't see why we would do that. Well, war reparations, of course, but yeah. So all war goals were met or exceeded. We did follow the plan, actually, for once. But of course, the first Italian trip around Africa made things very much simpler, and we could invade much earlier. I think let's say a year, that we were ahead of schedule by a year, and then they did it another time, but I feel that it didn't really matter. By that time, things were starting to snowball, and all battles eventually became sort of just me collecting Pokemons. Operationally, lessons learned. Aircraft played less of a role than expected, partially because I sank the 2 CVs and one of the 2 CVLs early on. That, of course, did shape things and also prevented any real carrier battles from taking place. But even discounting that, I felt that naval air played a very minor role. I knew it would not be massive because of the time. It's pre 1935. There's, in my mind, at least, sort of a break point at 1935. You get more and bigger carriers. You get increasingly good planes. That sort of stuff around 35. And of course, it just accelerates from 35 and forward. But yeah, I was surprised that aircraft did not do more. There was limited air interference, very few bomb hits, very few torpedo hits from the air, maybe a few. I don't remember all the details. I remember one of my battleships catching a sap bomb at some point in a late battle, and I was completely surprised by that. But yeah, air did not play an important role. This was a war that lasted from 31 to 33. So I guess that's a lesson learned, that my instincts regarding the lethality of aircraft and carrier warfare in the early 30s is about right. It's not come into its own. If this was 5 years later, this war would have felt very different. Maybe we can have a war against France and Britain in the Med in a few years. That would be awesome. We only lost subs, 20 plus, 22, something like that. We lost a handful of destroyers, some in combat, some to mines or sub-torpedoing. We also lost a handful of KEs. I am seriously thinking about making some 4,800 ton super light cruisers with colonial fittings to use them instead, so they at least can run away if they meet a raider. Enemy losses were massive, not total, but close to it. They have not an effective fleet, and with the Italian economy, in 10 years they can have rebuilt somewhat with a more modern fleet, but they will never again have a large fleet, I think. Tactically, aircraft played a very minor role, like I said, so the main thing here was a superiority in guns, and I mean gun caliber and also number. I basically put more heavy guns on him all the time than he could do with his lighter guns in return. And also my armor, couple inches on average, I would say, heavier, even more so for some ship classes. My later 16-inch battle cruisers have up to 14 inches of belt, so it's not like his 14-inch guns is gonna score any crippling hits without getting super lucky. So put a lot of 16-inch shells into him, and he puts a lot of 14-inch shells into my belt, and heavily armored turrets sustained very little damage in terms of gunfire on my capital ships. My DDs also enjoyed a massive gun advantage, and same with the light cruisers with all the 6-inch guns. That turned out to work very well. And that put his destroyers, so he had quite a few destroyers in a bad disadvantage, very bad. They had like 3 5-inch or 4, 6, some 8 4-inch guns against my 6 or 8 5-inch guns with good fire control. It's a very lopsided thing there. So enemy torps, both air launched to some degree, but that kind of went away when the carriers went down. But torpedoes from destroyers, those were a threat. But on the other hand, TPS-2 TPS 3 in some cases. Yeah, you can hurt me, but the chance of sinking outright is very low. So you can cripple a ship, send it in for repairs, but rarely will it sink something bigger than... even my light cruisers took a few torpedo hits and limped back to port because they have TPS too. So yeah, that's it really. Sum it up. So so that concludes episode 65. We have peace again, and we are ready to move forward into 34 and delve deeper into the exciting possibilities of the 1930s, where we will focus more on aircraft and carriers and super battleships and everything that's the most cool about this game. So, oops. Thank you for watching and see you again soon.